Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bosch. The number of clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Bosch Clean Diesel. Good, clean, fun. Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. And by Dow Automotive Systems. Improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
I'm back. Michelle Krebs here from Edmunds.com. Yes, sir, I survived the New York Auto Show, 2 whole days in Manhattan. I hope John's fared as well. He's been running around all week. Anyway, this is Autoline Daily for Friday, yes, Friday, the 6th of April 2012, and we've got a big old bucket of news, so let's get rolling. Ford and Peugeot-Citroen are ending their partnership on larger diesel engines. The two have collaborated for the past 12 years, but they now say they will independently develop and build diesels larger than 2 liters. The decision will not have an impact on current production. According to Bloomberg, Peugeot says the move is not related to its new partnership with General Motors. Yeah, like we believe that. Electric vehicles don't make much noise when moving, and that poses a danger for pedestrians, especially for those that are visually or hearing impaired. That's why automakers are working on simulating engine noises in EVs in order to make them safer. Audi just developed what it calls e-sound for its future electrics. Acoustic engineers created a sound that's similar to a combustion engine. It plays through a loudspeaker attached underneath the car. The company is currently showcasing e-sound on an electric version of the R8, but says every EV model will have its own unique sound. Here's a clever accessory for your car called the Kiss You Tissue Tube. It's a tissue box designed to fit in your cup holder. According to the Detroit News, it was created by Amy Davis as part of a school assignment to make and market a product. The stay-at-home mom, who went back to school for her MBA, was inspired to make the tissue box after a couple of close calls when leaning over to get tissues from the passenger seat. Her invention is being test marketed in some Walgreens stores and will likely be available nationwide later in the year. You can buy it online right now for just under $8. Again, it's Friday, which means it's time for another episode of Autoline This Week. Joining John for the show are 2 journalist colleagues, Steve Finley of Ward's Auto Dealer Business and Ed Lapham from Automotive News. His special guest is Jeremy Anwell, the vice chairman of Edmunds.com. Go team! In the following teaser, Jeremy talks about what new vehicle shoppers expect from dealers and how that's drastically different from the level of service that's actually delivered.
The issue with the internet, though, is I think it creates expectations in the consumer's mind in terms of seamlessness. So I do think today's car shoppers have been heavily influenced by their shopping experience, because if you're going to the internet to buy or to research a car, you're certainly going to the internet to buy other things. And you're conditioned to expect certain things based on those experiences. And sites like Zappos and Amazon, where comparing products is seamless, and you can get price quotes instantly, and you can hit one button and the product gets delivered to your house in just a day or 2. It ain't happening in the car industry. So I think, if anything, the expectations that have been created by the internet create more tension around some of the disconnects that occur within the auto retail environment.
As always, you can watch the entire episode of Autoline This Week at, where else, autoline.tv. If you're on the go and YouTube is a better option, you can view it there as well, along with the rest of our content. Just search for Autoline. Speaking of other content, make sure you check out tonight's episode of Roundabout. Among other things, the crew will be hitting the highlights from the New York Auto Show. Miss Motormouth Michelle Naranjo and Auto Pacific analyst Dave Sullivan are the guests du jour. And a quick note, the show will be starting an hour later than usual, so check it out around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at autoline.tv. Advanced infotainment systems are practically mandatory in today's vehicles. As smartphones and other high-tech devices become mainstream, drivers expect more connectivity in their rides. Keeping up with the Fords, Toyotas, and Cadillacs, Nissan Infiniti just announced a new automotive communication system called NissanConnect. Google, Pandora Radio, and Intel are partners on this project. NissanConnect will debut on the 2013 Altima, which should start arriving at dealerships this July. Ferdinand A. Porsche, designer of the iconic 911 sports car, has passed away in Salzburg, Austria. He was 76 years old. The news came out in an official company release, and so far no cause of death has been given. Often known as F.A. or Butzi, his childhood nickname, he was the grandson of company founder Ferdinand Porsche. He started working for the firm way back in 1958. His legacy will be felt for years to come because the 911 is a performance benchmark for sports car builders around the world. In happier news, we wrap up the 2012 New York Auto Show. Stay tuned.
Clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Why? Higher take rates, lower cost of ownership, longer range and better fuel mileage, lower CO2 emissions. Clean diesel, good, economical, functional. Bosch, invented for life.
Boy, this year's New York Auto Show is huge. I think there have been more significant reveals in Manhattan than there were in Detroit. With the latest update from the show, here's John.
Autoline's coverage of the New York Auto Show is brought to you by Audi, Truth in Engineering.
It's day 2 at the New York Auto Show in this special brought to you by Audi. Yesterday at Chrysler, it was all about performance. Today, it's about their new work truck. Later on, we'll be showing you the latest big cars and the luxury ones.
We could talk for hours about this, so let me give you the key points. First off, an 8-speed electronic transmission that we're mating with the state-of-the-art Pentastar V6, as well as our very popular Hemi V8. Now you take that, that's a biggie. The other things that we're doing never before thought possible to even consider bringing into a truck is active air suspension. So when you're traveling down the highway, the vehicle lowers, it improves aerodynamics of the truck, and also it's got a kneel position so that you don't feel so much like you're climbing in and out of the truck, you feel more like you're stepping in and out of the truck. Now think about it, when you're in that kneel position, the guy or the girl trying to load the back of the truck, instead of having to lift and put it in the back of the truck, it's easier to just slide, and in some cases slide downward. So there's capability refinements too with that active air suspension.
Avalon, for the first 3 generations, was a great car for us. It was known for the quality, it was known for comfort, smooth ride, but it also was known to be conservative. Well, the market's changing. What people are looking for in sedans are changing. They want something a little bolder, a little more aggressive, a little more engaging to drive. And our engineers that did this in Michigan did a fantastic job on it. I've had the opportunity, I spent a day with this vehicle at our proving grounds last week, and it's the kind of car you start driving, you just don't want to get out of it. You could just drive this car all day long.
Of course, when you come to New York, which is one of the biggest luxury markets in the world, you've got to talk about luxury cars. But in this case, at this show, they're talking about green luxury like this Infiniti LE.
The thing that's really unique is the inductive charging system. So no cables, no wires. It's kind of like when if you have, your cell phone and you can put them on that pad and it charges up, it's a miracle, right? Well, we have the same system. So the car actually uses a parking assist system that'll line up the car over top of an inductive charger. We create a magnetic field on the one side in the charger. We then, on the other side, there's a magnetic field that excites it, starts going around, we start generating electricity. No cables, you just park it and you go. To me, that's really the future of luxury electric.
How often do you see a car this size, with this kind of styling, the presence of our LS, more interior space than an E-Class Mercedes-Benz, better emissions rating than a standard Chevy Volt, and 25% better MPG than a subcompact Honda Fit, and get 40 miles per gallon in this kind of a luxury car? It just doesn't happen. I think it's a real game changer.
I hope you enjoyed this coverage from the New York Auto Show. We especially want to thank Audi for having made it possible. I got my bite out of the Big Apple. This is McElroy in New York, signing off.
If you ever slide off the road or find yourself buried in a drift, I'm the one they call to haul you out. Because I'm the best. Ain't bragging if it's true. But with that one, I never even came close.
Quattro! I will find you!
Well, with that, I think you know what time it is. That's right, we've come to the conclusion of another episode of Autoline Daily, another week, in fact. I'm Michelle Krebs from Edmunds.com. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you around.
Ward's is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details, and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.